Good afternoon, everybody. Eric from American Business Systems wanted to be one of the first to wish you a happy new year in 2025. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. We'll be going through over a little bit of information about some things that we'll be looking at this next year and hopefully be able to cover. Hopefully, you had a wonderful 2024 and you're looking forward to a great 2025. I know that we are here at American Business Systems, not only as a company, but then also individually and as with friends and family. So, hope you've had a great, wonderful holiday time off. And I know that last Wednesday we did not do a webinar, which I think is the first in history of my time here, if I can recall. But we're back here again, getting ready to kick off a new season of all of our Wednesday webinars and helping you kind of coach you along and trying to find out the best business opportunity that you're looking for. So it's good to see everybody here. We got a good crowd already here on the 1st of January. Again, my name is Eric Ogier. I'll be your host this afternoon. And if you don't mind, if you'll look over in that Q&A box and just type in, say hello, tell me where you're calling in from, I would appreciate it. So please just go ahead and use that Q&A box over there and give me a thumbs up or something that just let me know I'm being heard. I want to make sure of that so far before I go any further. So if everybody will just give me a hello or something real quickly. Yep, here we go. Got Priscilla from sunny Florida. Hope that you're having a great time there in Florida. Melee, it's good to see you again. I think we've seen you once before. We've got Awanish, hope I said your name correctly, from Virginia. So good to see you as well. Thank you. And again, like I said, hopefully everybody had a wonderful, safe New Year's Eve and a great start of your New Year's here today. Again, my name is Eric Ogier. We got Robert and Emily from Louisiana. Thank you. Omar from North California. Happy New Year. Thank you, Omar. Zach, Zohib. Good to see you. Appreciate it. Got a good group of people here today. Talisha from New Jersey. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right, let's get started here. Again, my name is Eric Ogier. I'll be your host this afternoon. And again, we just want to tell you and wish you a very happy 2025. Gosh, can you believe it's 2025? New year rolling in, got new things happening this year. And just we're looking forward to just a great and wonderful year. Shirley is from Farrison. No, that's your last name. Happy New Year. Hello. Appreciate it. Deepak, good to see you. Thank you for joining us here. Let me just get off to saying, just here right off the bat again, we want to tell you Happy New Year from American Business Systems. We've been around for a little over 30 years now. We just turned 31 at the beginning, as of today, folks, if you can realize that. And we're always looking to improve and do better things. I had a great end of the year webinar with Adam. So if you haven't gotten a chance to go look at that webinar, we actually did a kind of a showcase of all the 2024, the best of 2024 webinars that I think that we did. So be sure to go out and take a look at that when you do that. Adam Phillips is our CEO of American Business Systems. Some of you have heard him either on a Q&A or on an interview. Some of you may be talking to Adam here, sometimes here off and on. But he is a author. He has written a book with Dr. Vicki Ragnar called 9 Ways Doctors Let Money Slip Through Their Fingers. He is also a contributor for the magazine, the BC Advantage magazine. That's a billing and coding magazine that goes out. I think it goes out bi-monthly there. But what we did there on that particular one was the advancements of AI. And is that going to hurt or enhance medical billing? We all feel like it's going to enhance it. He is also the founder of an organization called MIRMA. MIRMA is a very important organization that you're going to want to know about, be a part of, because it'll be this organization that you'll be able to carry the logo, the MIRMA logo, as you can see right there. That way you can carry it on as long as you want to. You're not having to worry about what logos you need to carry about American Business Systems. You don't want to carry that one because you don't want people coming back and finding that you maybe started a fairly new business, although that we have supported a lot of our new business owners here. But we've got an organization called Myrma that will help you and launch you and give you the credibility that you need. And they are also the ones that will certify you as a certified medical revenue manager. So first of all, as we kind of get into the whole topic today of it's a new year, it's a new you, launching a business to change your life, I thought I'd kind of start small and kind of grow through this webinar. Try to throw a big wide net here today, because some of you that this might be your first time to be on any of our webinars. So again, I welcome you. Some of you might have been around with us for some time, and so thank you for joining us again. And hopefully, you're looking forward to getting started here real soon with us here at ABS. Siva, it's good to see you. Thank you for piping in there. I appreciate it. But one of the things that I always like to go over ever so often here, is there a market for anything in healthcare? Now, and like I said, I'm throwing a sort of a big wide net here, and then we're going to kind of bring it down into the medical billing part of it, or what we know it as of revenue cycle management. So the first question is, in any venture that you're looking into, any type of business opportunity or franchise that you might look in, you obviously you want to know, is there a market? Obviously, I think Michelle, good to see you from Michigan. Thank you for piping in here. Thank you as well. So we always want to know, is there a market for things in healthcare? Now, if anybody's been keeping track, I'd say over the last 4 to 5 years, that there's a lot of things going on in healthcare. A few years back, we had the big pandemic that kind of really brought a huge disruption into the market. And out of that, even though that was a very difficult time for us here as a nation, what we found, though, is that there was a lot of great innovations that came out of that. One is a service that we actually are very proud of, and that is virtual care. Virtual care is a way in which doctors can remotely manage readings for their patients, whether it's blood pressure readings or glucose readings, pulse oximeters. We actually have that service that you're able to offer your doctors. Now, again, we don't know of any other healthcare industries out there. Matter of fact, I remember talking with the team here one time. We almost thought about just kind of doing that as a separate business opportunity altogether, because it really is a great venture with virtual care. But there's so many other things that we wanted to package together to help support our business owners here. So as the market grows from what you might think as here in the beginning as of just revenue cycle management or medical billing, hopefully today you'll walk away with, wow, ABS provides a lot more services that are really healthcare initiatives and things that will actually help you promote your business so much better than just being a medical billing company, is so to say that. So now, Deepak, I see that you've got a question that's come in here, and I'm going to answer that question here in just a moment. Let me get through this little first part here, and then I'll take care of your question. But again, is there a market? And I truly believe that the market is growing in healthcare. Just to kind of share with you, just back last year, the Global Revenue Cycle Management Market Share Analysis and Industry Trends and Statistics showed that in 2024, just the revenue cycle management market alone was just a little over $136 billion. And in the next 4 years, you can see that it's nearly doubling that over the next 4 years. So do we think that there's a growth with that? I mean, if you think about this is a compounding annual growth rate of about a little over 14%. So for you business-minded folk out there that are looking for growth rates and what's going on and what's happening in a particular industry or a specific sector of the market, these are things that you want to make sure that you're keeping up with. Now, Combined with that, we also need to look at some other key indicators. Now, how does it deal with specifically now with medical billing or revenue cycle management? Well, there is a group that's called the Doctor Patient Medical Association Foundation that statistically says that 2 out of 3 doctors say they are just squeaking by or in the red financially. And when we talk about that, what we need to find out is how do we find those 2 to 3 doctors out there? And so we're going to help you with that as time goes on. And then finally, obviously everybody should by now have heard of the New England Journal of Medicine. And they state that in a market analysis estimates that 24 cents out of every dollar is actually wasted on administrative and billing expenses. So that's pretty expensive if you think about it. So if you take every dollar that comes into a doctor's office, that's basically 25% right off the top going into administrative and billing expenses. Now, we're going to deal with that administrative side of it here a little bit, because a lot of you were probably asking, well, don't doctors already have a biller in-house? Well, some do. And I'm going to show you that it's not as inexpensive as you think it might be compared if they just get it outsourced, and the revenue that will actually go back into the doctor's pocket. Now, for those that might be thinking, well, gosh, I don't want to let anybody lose their job because I'm taking over. I promise you, there's plenty of things that those people can do and actually, again, help increase the doctor's revenue here. So that's what we're dealing with all about today. So kind of getting back to the question, is there a market for it? We see exponentially every single year that there is a market out there for outsourcing revenue cycle management or billing outside here. So don't let anybody fool you to think that this is not a great business opportunity. We think it's one of the best out there. And where our price point is, we feel like it is really one of the most aggressive out there to help you get started, turn a profit in within less than about a year to get your return on your investment back into your pocket as quickly as possible. So let's talk about this new year, this new you, launching a business to change your life. The first thing you've got to ask is, what do you like what you're doing right now? Maybe you do. Maybe you want to add something to what you're already doing. I never want to think people are like just fed up with their jobs or they are just sick and tired of driving back and forth to work all the time, because a lot of people really enjoy their jobs and they go to it every day. And listen, there's a lot of people that do that. And so, but then there's some people who say, you know what, I would like possibly a little bit more freedom. I'd like at least the opportunity to get out there and see if I can make it out on my own. And I think what you'll find out here, hopefully today, is that ABS is hopefully going to make that affordable for you and possible for you. So Deepak is asking real quickly, after I join American Business Systems and finish training, will you guys find first order? Now, I think that you're probably asking, are we going to help you find your first doctor? And I'm going to answer it in 2 different ways. Yes, we're going to actually help you find your first doctor. Now, we don't have doctors that are going to go along with that, with what you're going to be getting here at American Business Systems, although that we are here to help you gain and get that and earn that trust here pretty quickly. I'm just one quick second here. I feel like I might need to sneeze here. I think I may have. I'm trying to avoid that. So I know that we're all probably just a little bit. Some of us can be a little bit under the weather and have little allergies and stuff like going on here. And nothing more than sneezing right in the middle of a webinar, right? So, it just makes us show that we're all human here. But what makes ABS best and better than really anybody else? First of all, we have a one-time all-inclusive investment of $30,000. Now, we don't discount it that that's not a lot of money. It's a lot of money for anybody. $30,000 is a lot. But whenever you're looking at it in comparison to other business opportunities or other franchises out there, this is actually one that's really on the lower end of everything, as you can kind of see it. about it. And I'm actually going to show you what some other folks are charging out there. Matter of fact, I think they've just gone up on their cost of what it is to get into their program. Okay. Now remember, ABS has been around for 31 years now. We feel like we're able to pivot a little bit quicker because we're not locked down into just one medical billing platform. We actually have three that we have associated with our platform. So that kind of goes back to some additional things that we have to offer to help you at least gain that first client. Because some of you might want to start small with a client, and so you don't need anything really robust whenever you're going to actually do the billing for your particular your client there. What you need is just making sure that you've got a good solid platform. So there's nothing why you need to have a Cadillac or the best of the best on whenever it comes down to and I kind of said that wrong. We have the best of the best platforms out there. What I was going to say is you don't need to have a very expensive one or anything else to go along with that to make sure that you have everything you need to get things going. We're going to keep everything inclusive here within that $30,000. So. And then all the other different services like the virtual care that we have. We've got some new ways of helping you actually find clients. And so we're really excited about what's happening there. We're actually adding a new training class. So we're actually going to have two training classes here in 2025. Now, you have one initial class that gets you through and gets your certifications as a certified medical revenue manager. Then we're actually adding more of a type of a graduate type of a class, more of a collegiate level type of a class that's going to be offered to all of our ABS business owners. And again, without any additional cost to go along with that. So Melee is asking, is this a one-on-one and can it happen late at night and on weekends? The first part of your question is yes, it is a one-on-one. It's done by Zoom, just like what we're doing right now. It is going to be, it can be done late at night. It can be done on the weekends. This is not a video where you're going to sit in front of a boring video. You're going to have an interaction just like you're dealing with me right now, except you'll have the opportunity to speak. So hopefully that helped answer your question there. And then Zohib, you're asking what services are you providing in this package? What's the backup? What's the backup you are providing? What's the backup you are providing? So I kind of rephrase that second question there, but I'm going to share with you all the different services here in just a second. So like I said, our initial package, our one package, the only package that we have is $30,000. Now, to take a look at what some other are charging out there, you can see here starting today, it's gone from 29, 30 grand up to $42,000. You know, there's different preferred, and there's the director at $55,000. And so folks, everything that you're seeing here, you're getting everything from us here at American Business Systems, again, for what we can feel like a very competitive price at $30,000, because we go beyond just offering you services. We go beyond of just training you. We really do bring in these different services all the time. We're here to help you get your clients. We're here to help you build your business and go out there and really make it happen. So once you become part of American Business Systems, you really get linked in into really the largest network of medical billing companies in the United States. We've got folks that have been with us for nearly 30 years. We've got a lot of people that have been around for 20 plus years. And, you know, and what's great about it is I've been around for 17 of those years already this year. And so I've seen a lot of those folks that have been with us since the very, very beginning. So I can certainly testify to the longevity of our business owners here. Matter of fact, we've got some more folks that are helping us with our training and And then with our support team, which is phenomenal, it's second to none. Once you get to meet our support team, you're going to just fall in love with them. Now, talking about support, what you're going to get here. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about your normal support system, and or you're going to also not or and you're going to actually have what's called our licensee support site. Now, we've called it our licensee support site because we just used to call all of our folks our licensees here, but you're really a business owner here. But there was no change, really go change up that URL from ABS LSS to anything else. But this is open for you 24/7. Now on here, you've got everything that you're going to need to find. You're going to have all of your get started package. You can see right up there at the top where it says news and then getting started. There's a whole layout of things that you're going to need to get started with. There's a lot of things you're going to need to probably get to download and get some things going. Then you can see that second little section up there at the top where it says services right there. Marketing, tools, resources, contact, cart. If there's anything else you need to possibly order, you can get it from our support team there. And you can see there's an 800 number. It's the same number that you can contact us today at 866-565-8413. Now, you can see there's an extension there, and if you hit 2 right now, you're gonna probably, not probably today, but probably over the next couple of days, you might get you have somebody answer the phone, but they're gonna ask you what is your membership number here at American Business System, so they can look you up in the system. And folks, since you're not a part of the ABS system, you're not going to be able to get into it just yet. But they'll support you. They'll just kind of tell you who do you need to get back with over here at ABS, and we'll certainly make that help you out here. Speaking about the online training, that online training is a one-on-one session here. What you're going to learn out of that one-on-one session, you're going to learn everything from, if you don't know anything about medical billing, you don't know what the Center of Medicare and Medicaid services are, you may not know a lot of what a ERA is and EOB and all these other things that kind of go along with that. We're going to teach you everything. There's literally 10 major modules that we're going to take you through whenever it comes down to getting you trained and kind of getting you worked up and getting you ready. Now, once you've completed that training, or as you're completing that training, one of the things that you're going to get out of that first initial part of the training is you're going to have someone to coach you along a system step by step of what you're going to need to do on getting to what I call the kind of the closing level. Because let me share what happens here is that whenever you are there are companies out there who will say that they're going to give you a possible list of potential doctors that you can do billing for. Okay, let me give you my background on that. Whenever I was a little bit more involved here in some things that we were doing here at ABS, besides just doing the webinars, I was doing a lot of research and development. I would take a lot of our applications of everything that we try to do, and we pulled it all together. And I've started a medical billing company. I've actually started 2 of my own, but through our research and development, there were a few of us here that kind of did that together. We wanted to make sure that our systems were working. One of the things that we tried, guess what it was? The list, the so-called list of doctors that there are people out there who might say that you're going to get a list of doctors that they're going to get you whenever you join the team here. Well, we utilize a very similar type of list there. Now, you got to take it for granted. No, here we've been at this a long time, and we also know how to market to people and doctors, and obviously we're teaching it to folks like you and other people. The biggest struggle that we had with was getting doctors off of that list. Now, I'll tell you what happened. I'd get the list and I would comb through it. I go, oh, this looks like a great doctor here. Let me start doing some marketing to them or call them and see if I can't get a meeting with them. Well, by the time I called them, guess what? 2 or 3 other people have contacted them. And it was frustrating for me. It would just be, it became, okay, this is not what it's supposed to be. So you know what? We decided to ditch that whole thing completely and never have gone back to it, because we feel like what we teach you in these live online trainings to get you to this next level, as I'm showing you here, where we're going to get you to get those doctors to join a live demonstration of the software that we, American Business Systems, is going to provide for you. All right, so let me repeat that. You're going to learn out of that training how to get these doctors, find these doctors. Today is not the day where I'm going to be able to tackle how we're going to get you those doctors, but we're going to show you how to reach those doctors, get those doctors that are interested in having conversations with you, and then getting these doctors to a demonstration online and let us finalize that marketing process for you. We feel like that's the best way for you. So there's a lot that I've said there to kind of unpack there. If you'll just listen to me a little bit. When you join American Business Systems, you're not just getting a medical billing business opportunity. You're actually getting a partner with you in helping you build your business. Okay. So let me repeat that. You're not just getting a business opportunity so you can go make it out there on your own. You're really getting a partnership in helping you build your business. That's huge. That's really, really huge. We've got a full team of support people, as you can see here, that we've got coaches through Myrma that will help you go out there and build your business. There's a lot of people that can be pulled alongside of you who have built these specialties, whether it's cardiology or podiatry or urology or cardiology, or you want to kind of keep it small. Maybe you want to do a chiropractor, maybe a few other types of smaller type of doctors here. We're going to be able to help coach you along the way on all these different services here. So let me just take a quick moment here. I'm going to kind of run through the gamut here, and I got some questions that have come in here, and I'm hopefully to be able to get to you those real quickly. First of all, if you'll see the two bookends, the one on the left-hand corner, the new thriving medical practice, and the 9 ways doctors let money slip through their fingers. I'm going to show you here in just a brief moment how those two books right there are huge components to get those doctors to get engaged with you so that we can get them to that demonstration. But in the top little section there, we've got the iClaim and EMRx. Those are kind of if you think of it, that's our wheelhouse right there. That's how claims get processed. That's how the electronic medical records for the doctors to be able to utilize that. That's how all that works there. Then going to the right, this is more along the same parts of medical billing that you're going to need to have. You're going to need some coding assistance. You might need some auditing for those codes assistance, and then you're going to need help for collections. The reason you're going to need a lot that quick collect right now, especially right now, since we just turned January 1 today, guess what just triggered today? Well, everybody's got brand new deductibles, right? They've got new insurance plans. They may have gone from $1,000 deductible now to $2,500 deductible, may have gone up to $5,000 deductible. And so sometimes those patients might need to pay that out, and that quick collect over there can be a help for that. But if we look at the bottom there, these are the suites of other things here that are awesome, and we're actually bringing in more of these. I talked to Adam there at the end of this last year. He was sharing with me, Eric, we've got some great new products coming out for all of our business owners here. And again, that's at no additional cost, especially whenever you come on in and you get a part of this already. All right, so if you look there at virtual care, that's that virtual care part of it. That is unbelievable. You get to make money while the doctors make money, and then hopefully you'll get to even make a little bit on top of it if you're doing the billing for that. Compliancy Guard is a huge help right now. Matter of fact, we've got 2 partnerships now that are helping us with HIPAA compliancy. It's huge out there, and now's a great time. If you're actually looking to get started, now's the time of the year to kind of get this kicked off and lead out with something like a Compliancy Guard. Choice pay is just a different way in which we can help doctors have their patients pay them. Auto card is a way that we can help those doctors remind their patients of their examinations, their annual wellness visits, their whatever they might need to do. You can even show them how to use this for marketing to help them keep their patients engaged. We even send out birthday cards or anniversary cards through all that. What's right next to it is called Credentials Now. Credentialing is a must for doctors. This was one of those gaps that I think that early on that we did not have a good partnership for credentials. And so what does that credentials mean? Well, when a doctor is ready to see patients and do it through an insurance company like Blue Cross Blue Shield or Aetna or any of those insurance companies basically have to kind of vet the doctor. They need to make sure that the doctor has all the credentials that they're going to need in order that the doctors can see their patients and then get those bills paid by Blue Cross and Blue Shield. So we've got a way to help those doctors get their credentials going properly. And then lastly, over there, you can see for those that want to venture out into even different types of billing, like maybe like dental billing, we actually have a platform for that. So you can see we've got these particular programs plus a growing number that's behind the scenes, again, that are already being used, but we're running out of space on just our slide deck here. So that's a lot of things that are happening, so certainly behind the scenes there. All right, I'm going to land it right here real quickly. We're at the bottom of the hour because now I want to take you on a little tour of what exactly is medical billing. But before I get into that, let me answer a few of these questions here. Melee is asking, will you send the recording of the training and send the PDF file material? Now, if you're talking about today's webinar, yes, this is being recorded, and if you'd like a copy of the PDF, just get back with your sales rep here at ABS and they'll get that to you. Will you include us in your big group of people on Facebook and on LinkedIn? Yes. All of that kind of gets pushed in. Matter of fact, we've expanded outside of LinkedIn and Facebook to another kind of up and coming social platform that where doctors are actually hanging out. And so a lot of our new business owners out there have gotten brand new clients from that platform. So I'm really excited. Karam is asking, do you provide software and IT services as well as maintaining the EHR? Yes. So the iClaim and EMRX platform, what I showed you right over here in this particular slide right here, we got it right there, iClaim and EMRX. I tell you what, if you'll do here, this is a great reminder to remind everybody that's on the webinar here. If you haven't worked with your sales rep yet and you yourself haven't seen a demonstration of the software, don't let too much more of this week get past you so that you can get that taken care of. They would love to be able to show that for you. Siva is asking, in general, doctors, physicians are working system. Can we target them as clients as these systems already have their own billing system? Okay. All right, so yes, I'm going to actually get into that here in just a quick second here. I'm actually going to leave that question up there so I don't lose it. Melee is asking if we're going to teach you the codes. We're going to teach you all the codes that are important to that particular specialty once you've got that doctor. But remember, you have CodeWrite in the event that you actually need a certified professional coder for any of your needs there. So that's taken care of. Talisha is asking, I read that a percentage range to charge your claim is 4 to 8%. How do you handle competition where the companies are out there charging below market rates? Examples 2.49. Okay, so let me that's a great question here, and it'll help me lead right into medical billing. Okay, so Talisha, let's kind of back up here because let me tell you, nothing's free. Okay, there may be some medical billing companies out there that can have an initial rate of 2.5%. Okay, but that's on the first time submittal. That doesn't mean that they're going to go back and try to get any claims that are denied. If they're going to go after denied claims, they're going to charge them more. So you got to see you always got to read the fine print. Okay. Whenever you get to these companies that have this example rate of 2.5%, 2.49%, once you get started with them and then they start doing their billing, um, you're going to find out that they average about 6 to 7% whenever it's all said and done. So hopefully that helped answer your question there. It's just a little bit of it's to get these doctors who are really not thinking, because listen, doctors are just not great business people. They see something and go, oh man, I can have someone do my billing for 2.49%. Gosh, let's get them signed up. And then they're making half of what they used to make. And they're going, why did I hire you? And well, you hired us because you wanted a 2.49 on your first time billing. Well, what about all these claims that are denied? Oh, you want us to do that too? Oh, well, that's 10%. You see what I'm saying? It's just not a great way of doing business. Um, let's see. I'm going to handle those two questions there in just a moment. Okay. What is medical billing? All right. Some of you, that might be your first time on the webinar. You may even not really know really what medical billing is. So let me take a little bit of just a brief 2 to 3 minutes here and kind of just walk through this. Okay. All right. So once a doctor sees their patients, there are only two ways in which a doctor can get paid, either by the patient by cash or by insurance. Now, you might be finding out there's a lot of doctors that are going back to the old give me cash money on the barrel. Okay. That's called concierge medicine, and that's still a growing thing. Will it overtake everything? I don't think it will ever overtake it, because what is usually those are very specialized doctors in very nice little pockets of the country. That's not going to work for everybody and everywhere. Okay, because these are folks that probably don't mind, being on a membership with a doctor of $500 a month, and I can call up the doctor at any time and go, hey, you're basically on call for me. Okay. So that's kind of what's called concierge medicine. But there's still only two ways a doctor gets paid, by the patient or insurance. Medical billing is simply the process of filing a medical insurance claim with the insurance company to get the doctors paid. That's all that it is. Okay. I will tell you that it can be a lot about codes here, but it's the doctor's responsibility to provide the codes to their biller. Okay, let me repeat that. It's the doctor's responsibility to get the codes to the biller. Okay, what I mean by that, if they've got a biller in their office, that doctor has already seen the patient, has already provided the codes there, and I'm going to tell you what types of codes those are here in just a second. But it's still the doctor doing that. So even the biller that's in the doctor's office is not doing the coding. Okay. Matter of fact, most platforms that are out there, electronic medical record platforms that are out there, are already doing the coding for the doctor, including those that are utilizing a pretty high advanced uh, um, artificial intelligence and taking their notes. Okay. Somehow it's reading the notes and it's kind of giving the doctor, says, it looks like you did this. So here's the couple of the different code choices, doctor, you might want to use. So it's really enhancing and making it a lot easier for the revenue cycle management individual, whether it's the medical biller or a revenue cycle management company, to actually process those claims. Medical codes are basically numbers, and there are two different types. There's what's called the diagnosis code and then the procedure code. The diagnosis code is what's wrong with you as a patient. You got to have that to identify something. You have a cough, you have an ingrown toenail, you have a high blood pressure, you got diabetes. Whatever that is, there's a diagnosis code for that. That's why you went to go see the doctor. You may tell the doctor all day long, I've got this hurting and that hurting and this hurting, and I've got this cough. And every time you point and hear or do something, the doctor's going, okay, well, that's a diagnosis of this. There's a diagnosis of that. There's a diagnosis. So the more you tell the doctor what's wrong with you, the more diagnoses the doctor will put down. Okay. Then, depending upon whatever's going on with you, then the doctor's going to have to do what's called a procedure code. It's what the doctor has done for you. How long did they spend with you? Did they consult you? Did they draw labs? Did they give you an injection? Did they do an in-office test? Did they do these things? These are called procedures. So it's really basically what the doctor did for you. So the codes that kind of come out of medical billing is the diagnosis code, what's wrong with the patient, and then the procedure code to substantiate that diagnosis code. Okay. You wouldn't want to have a diagnosis code for basically like a female and a procedure code for a male. You can see that that's going to get rejected. Okay. So you've got those types of things that you got to make sure that they match up. Okay. So let's talk real quickly about in-house billing challenges. Okay. Because this is why you're even here today. Because a lot of you probably come with the thought here already. Doesn't a doctor already have a medical biller in their office? Well, what kind of challenges? Well, there's a lack of quality and effective medical billing resources, not medical billers out there, but just medical billing resources for that particular. Because you got to know that that person that's in that doctor's office, I'm telling you, they're being run ragged. They're going from one thing to the next. The doctor's got them moving and grooving and going from one thing to the next. Listen, that happens. I've seen it happen. Trouble staying up to date with the latest guidelines. Again, if you've got a medical biller, now again, folks, you got to understand, someone that's just a medical biller has a job of just taking the doctor's codes, putting them down, getting them out, doing that over and over again. Whether the doctor gets paid on those may not be as a high priority for the biller. As with a revenue cycle management company like yourself, you never want a claim not to get paid. So you're staying on top of it. So just the heightened awareness of making sure things get taken care of, you can see how that improves billing. Frequent changes in codes and increasing claims, that increases claim denials. That's always happening. There's another challenge. And then the last thing, late handling. The late handling of denied and rejected claims. That means that when the claim does come back rejected, does that biller that's working in the doctor's office, who may have to cover for someone else because they've gone to lunch or someone's sick or they had to go clean a patient's room to get the doctor, you can see by the time they get back, they have to kind of get re-engaged. So it gets very difficult here. The chart that we have here kind of shows you, it paints you a picture real quickly of the cost if a doctor has a biller or biller and a half there in the office versus having it outsourced. Okay. So if you take 100 claims at $150 a piece times 52 weeks at 7%, you can see a doctor would pay just about $55,000 to get those claims processed. If that same scenario happened within that doctor's office, just paying somebody to be in that office is going to range from anywhere from $50,000 to $68,000, you can see here. Okay. Then the doctor has all the other expenses that go along with that. That could easily add up to almost 50% of what it would cost if they just had it outsourced right there. So hopefully you can see, as I started the webinar today, I asked us, is there a market for it? Having a biller inside of a doctor's office is not always the best thing to have. Okay. I see the questions that are there, and I haven't let go of those. I do want to get to real quickly the advantages of outsourcing, though. Just real quickly, there's four things here. Number one, there streamlines the entire medical billing process. Everything from patient scheduling to the collections here. Now, this is why I want to really encourage you to get back with your sales rep and ask them to show you a demonstration of the software, because this is really where it happens here. Through our iClaim system and our EMRX system, we can actually show you how we can streamline the patient scheduling to collections, getting those claims paid. The second thing is it boosts profitabilities due to a focused effort by an independent medical billing company. Just going back, remember, if the doctor outsourced, 100 claims a month, it's going to cost them about $55,000 a year. But the more of those claims are going to get actually processed and not lost. Okay. It reduces the amount of rejected claims because, again, through our iClaim system, we have a less than 2% rejection claim, whereas some, and it just happens. And it can it can happen here if someone's a little sloppy. I'm not going to say, listen, the systems are only as good as the person, right? And that's what we keep saying about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is only good by the input of information that you give into it. Okay, so it's the same thing here. If you are really committed on helping these doctors get reimbursed, you're going to make sure that nothing gets left on the table. And there's a focus AR, accounts receivables follow-up, to produce a positive cash flow for that doctor. It starts, like I mentioned here, from the very beginning through our iClaim system, and you can see that one of our platforms actually has its own built-in clearinghouse. This is one of our legacy platforms that we've had. This is where we've won so many different doctors' offices. Now, I know that Siva, you asked, don't doctors have their own system? Every doctor has a system, whether that they're doing billing in-house or whether they have it outsourced. They have a system. Now, does it mean that the doctors have to change systems immediately? No, you could actually start using that doctor's system immediately and not ever change them over to iClaim or EMRX in the beginning. But as you build trust, and I'm going to talk about that here at the very last here, as long as you start building trust, they're going to go with what you give them because now you become a trusted advisor, not just someone trying to get in just underneath the next fellow because someone else used to charge them 6%. You might charge them 5% just so that you get the business. I'm going to tell you, I never charged anything below 6 to 7% ever, and that's been years. So that's just the way that we do business because it's quality work, and the doctors don't mind paying to make sure that they're getting their bills paid. Okay. All right. Let's see what else I have here. They're kind of getting close up to the hour here, and I've got a lot of different things here. Oh, let me show this to you. We have a full practice analysis questionnaire. Now, this comes with your training. You're going to actually know what to do whenever you actually get in front of a doctor or an office manager. A lot of times you're going to, let me say where I'm going to show you where you can get this. Now, you can't get it right now, but you would be able to get this and download it from our licensee support site. It's going to be underneath support, okay? Or actually under tools right there. You can see it under tools. You'll be able to pull this practice analysis questionnaire. We update it quite often because there's so many things that get questions or gets things that we need to make sure that we're doing really sharp on these questions because we get a lot of input from all of our business coaches here at ABS, and we want to make sure that we're always tweaking this document here. But the practice analysis questionnaire is going to kind of take you on a very high level way of gathering information so that you can provide a doctor a free, no cost, no obligation practice analysis. Okay. We're going to take you through that. We're going to teach you how to do it. Once you completed that, we're going to show you how to put it in a report. Now, these are strict numbers. These are numbers that the doctor has given us and projected numbers at what we know that we can claim that we can do. If you're following the logic here, you can see that up at the top, that's the current thing that the doctors are currently going through. We can project there in the middle what we could do if we reduce the rejected amount of claims being rejected. And at the bottom, it's a projected impact on their practice. Now, for those that are a little scared about selling your business or doing anything particular there, let me ask you, if you were showing this to a doctor and you were because this was an actual report that was done, if you could show a doctor that you could bring in another $10,000 a month, would that be very difficult for you to get that doctor? But I also said this, it's also built upon trust. And listen, you've got to understand that we here at American Business Systems, we love our transparency. Um, if this was a business for everybody, everybody would be joining us on a daily basis. If we were handing out doctors with every business package that we were selling, we couldn't keep up with it. Okay. We know that it took a lot to build trust with you. Okay. It's the same thing here. If we didn't spend the time that we do on these Wednesday webinars, if we didn't spend the time with you one-on-one with your sales rep here at ABS, showing you the demos, having you talk to some of our current business owners, and not building that trust, nobody's just going to just jump on the bandwagon the first day and say, "Hey, I want to join American Business Systems." Matter of fact, the times that that's happened, we've said, "Hold on, we want to make sure you understand what this whole business is about." You see what I'm saying? So let that sink in here, because we like to build trust that leads to success. We just don't want to say, "Hey, this is a great thing. We're going to help you. We're going to give you a list of doctors, and boom, you're going to have a doctor here within the next 4 weeks." This is a relationship building just as much as it's a relationship building with you here through what we're doing here at American Business Systems. Part of that is at here is one of those ways that we're going to build trust is through a series of material that will help you build that trust quickly. I'm going to go through that real quickly with you. We've got about 10 minutes left, and I'll cut you loose for the rest of the day. One is we've got expert resources. Dr. Vicki Rackner, she is a known consultant out there for doctors and with other financial organizations. She is a retired general surgeon. She wrote the book, The Myth of the Rich Doctor. You can see that here. And she also co-wrote the book with Adam, 9 Ways Doctors Let Money Slip Through Their Fingers. One of the great things that Dr. Vicki Rackner will do for you is actually write an introductory letter to you to any of your prospective doctors. That's part of what we do here. Then you'll be able to utilize that book with a follow-up book, which is the 9 Ways Doctors Let Money Slip Through Their Fingers. We're going to show you exactly how to get that into the doctor's hands, and then follow up with another piece of material. Just so you can see, this is all education and building trust with the doctors. The New Thriving Medical Practice, with the foreword written by you. So can you see the momentum that's being built here? You've got Dr. Vicki Rackner, who's written a recommendation letter to you. You're going to follow that up with the 9 ways the 9 ways how doctors let money slip through their fingers, and then we're going to follow up with another piece of material, which is the New Thriving Medical Practice. There, with you being the forward, writing authoring the forward to the book. Okay. Now, folks, this is about all the time I have here today as we kind of as we kind of wrap up the first day of the year. This is so cool. It's great to be able to spend the time with you here.